let's make a character for a dungeon game, which is my new fantasy dungeon crawler available for free on itch. We start by rolling our starting silver, which is 2d6 times 10. So we start with 100 silver pieces, which we can use to outfit ourselves with equipment. Then we roll our abilities, 3d6 in order, agility, brawn and cunning. We have the option to swap 2 of these, but let's see how the rolls go. 9 and 14 is a pretty good start. And then another 14. These are really good stats, and I'm not going to swap anything. Our next step is to generate our starting health, which is 1d6 plus half our brawn. So that's 6 plus 7, which is 13. Really good starting health. Our next step is to generate our occupation, which is what we did before we became an adventurer. 1d20 on the list, and this character was an astrologer. That will give us advantage on rolls to do with our occupation if they ever come up in the game. The next step is to generate our scars. These are relics of violence that mark our body. You accrue these during the game by nearly dying, but everyone starts with 1. We'll roll 1d6 to see which body part is scarred. We start with a face scar, and the scar is a constantly bleeding nose, oozing a small trickle. Don't know why that happened. Presumably we'll figure that out during play as well. But scars let us always add or subtract 1 to any roll in combat. The next decision we have to make is figure out if we want to know magic. We're going to learn some magic, so we roll 1d3 and reduce either our health or one of our stats permanently. We rolled a 2 on 1d3, so that's 1. We'll reduce our health because that was pretty good to start out with. Then we roll another 1d3 to see what kind of ritual we've learned. There are phrases, sigils and ceremonies. We rolled a 5, which is a 3 on 1d3, so it's a ceremony. And then we will roll 2d20 to figure out what 2 words combine to form the ritual that we know. We've learned imbibing, darkness. So we'll write that down. These are free form spells, and we'll figure out what that spell actually does when we cast it. This is sort of a negotiation between the GM and the player, but you know, GMs are encouraged to just say, yeah, that's really cool. Next step is we roll an extra 2d6 just to get us something to differentiate us. This gives us -2 to saving throws versus spells. This is a roll under game, so a -2 is really useful because you want to roll under your stat when you're trying to save. Then we can spend our starting coin, give ourselves a name and go on an adventure. I am going to call this character Roland. Roland the Adventurer. And that's how easy it is to make a character in a dungeon game. Pick it up and give it a go.